George Bruno with the 21 Report. We're at the 21 Convention, the final event of the decade, and I'm having a conversation with Donovan Sharp. Welcome.
How you doing, George? Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, it's good to be seen.
Yeah,
good
absolutely.
to see you, man, I'll tell you. What a great talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
3 pillars.
Yeah.
Body, mind, finances. I do like how you went beyond just money and called it finances. There's so much more to that area than just a wad of cash.
Yes.
In your pocket.
Right.
It's what you spend it on, what you invest.
Right.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the first one, body.
Yeah. I'll talk about what I talked about on stage. And to me, in terms of transforming your life, living the best life you can live, living the most dominant life you can as a man, if you change your body, you change your life.
Yeah.
Right. And even more so, and people's lives change if they come into a lot of money. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, how many people do we know won the lottery?
Yeah,
how many people do we know sued XYZ, company and got a 7-figure, financial windfall? Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen. So the things that we have control over are body, mind, and finances. The body is the thing that jumpstarts you the fastest. Life is just different for people who are in better shape. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it.
It is.
Obviously, I've got a little ways to go myself, but I used to be a fat ass. I showed my before and after picture up there.
I remember seeing a picture.
Yeah.
You were a big boy.
Man. Yeah, 312 pounds to be exact.
Wow.
And and again, not that I didn't have a good time at 312, but my life is better because I'm not 312 pounds anymore.
Yeah.
Now, being in good shape encompasses a lot of different things. Losing, 106 pounds, that encompasses a lot of different things. Obviously, aptitude. You have to know how to get the job done. You have to know how to lose weight, what to eat, etc. The stick-to-itiveness, discipline, wherewithal, resolve. All of these things are in play all the time when you go from 312 to 205, as I was, when I was at my slimmest. And so, and for me, I lost the weight. I don't want to say very quickly, but I lost it in about 8 months. I was still relatively young at that point. So, I was able to lose the weight a little bit more quickly. My life changed so drastically because the way people saw me changed and the way I saw people changed. People treat you differently when you're not fat. Mm-hmm. So listen, if there's anybody out there watching who, oh God, my life sucks and this and that and the other. Okay, listen, there are a lot of things that you need to change, but things tend to change a little more quickly when you get your body right first. Mm-hmm. And I'll say it again, if you change your body, you change your life. Yeah. Finances, mind, okay, all that is all well and good, and that comes later on in the process, but you gotta get the body right first.
Yeah. The Nutrisystem commercial, you're the one guy who say, put down the pie and pick up the phone.
Yeah, right. I think that was either Charles Barkley or somebody like that.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, definitely the body changes things because you feel better.
Sure.
You just feel better. And
mental clarity is better. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. That's true. Mind. Let's talk about the mind.
Yeah. One thing that I guess today's men are severely lacking, aside from, being, financially stable and having, I guess a good physique, is men are mentally weak, man. Mm-hmm. Your father was probably someone who was very mentally strong, right? My father was not. My father was a mental midget, and because of that, he suffered. He's oh my God, he was in the military, and he just, I don't know, maybe it's a genetic thing, whatever the case may be, but I witnessed firsthand what a man with a weak mind has to go through. Mm-hmm. His wife, my mother, cheated on him all the time, and he was none the wiser. He was always being taken advantage of by friends, colleagues, coworkers, etc., etc. I think what a lot of men don't do is they don't really work to cultivate their mind. We all want the six-pack abs, and we all want to pop bottles and drive Lamborghinis and make money, and all that is all well and good. But you can't do any of those things. You can't keep any of those things if you don't have mental strength, if you don't have mental aptitude. I think a lot of men these days don't just crack open a book and just read. Mm-hmm. A lot of knowledge, a lot of mental strength, a lot of mental wherewithal can be accomplished just by reading books. Mm-hmm. And I know reading books sounds boring to a lot of guys, but again, that's why it's something of a lost art. And I'll end it with this. Working on your body is obviously important, but if you have a great physique, you can't really do much with that if you're mentally weak. You're
Right.
so you're a fat ass getting taken advantage of by women in the world. Well, if you're not mentally strong, you can have six-pack abs and still be taken advantage of by women, the world, and society as a whole. So that's why I think mental strength it's one of those underrated. It's one of these underrated attributes that men don't really pay attention
Yeah.
to, because if you're mentally strong, again, this is why these are pillars. If you're mentally strong, again, things seem to work a little bit better for you. People don't really bullshit you as much. People tend to defer to you a little bit more.
Yeah, I remember in AJ's speech, he talked about being your typical Chad.
Yeah.
Just literally, he was known for just being a tall, well-built, good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And some woman said, "That's all you have, dude."
Yeah,
That's
right.
And he said that was a moment for him where that changed his life. And then he started writing, and he's got the newsletter, and he's, traveling now and so forth. But there was a moment where he actually had to stop and think, "Oh my gosh, she's right."
Right.
And he's a great talker. He's got a great vocabulary.
Yeah.
He's an intellectual. But for the first part of his life, he was Chad.
Right.
That was it.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's being a Chad, it's a great life for a little while.
Yeah.
But a funny thing happens after you've been through 50, 60, 100, 300 women or whatever the case may be. You start to realize that that's not really what life is all about.
Right.
Listen, it's great to have women who want you sexually.
Right.
But when a woman tells you, "Hey, listen, you look good and, we have great sex, but that's really all you're good for."
Right.
Well, that would absolutely wake me up too.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when you're 22, 23 years old, yeah, that's right. Sex is all I'm good for. But you got to grow up. When you're 35, 36 years old and women are still just using you for sex, you're like, okay, this is great, but I need something with a little bit more substance. This
Yeah.
is why you have to develop that mind.
Yeah, that's right. And then finances, body, mind, and finances.
Yeah. Financial shrewdness, to me, how can I put this? And again, just like you said, there's a big difference between having money and being financially sound. There are a lot of guys out there who make six figures, but they have shitty credit. They can't go out and even lease a Honda Accord because they're just bad with money. They're buying stuff all the time. They're in an apartment that costs too much. They're making poor financial decisions. Okay, just because you make good money doesn't mean that you're well off financially. Someone who is well off financially is someone who lives below their means. Okay, listen, live a little bit. You want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but you always have to have the bigger picture in mind. And I mean, we've all been there. I've done some very stupid things with large amounts of money. And fortunately for me, I've been able to recover. But again, this is what, I don't know what's going on with today's men. I don't know what's going on with today's men. They don't want, every man wants to cultivate their mind, and every man wants to get rich. But you can't become rich if you're not financially sound. You might have a lot of money, but if you're not financially sound, you're not going to have that money for
Right.
long. So, and again, I'm not a financial expert, but what I like to do is I'm a proponent of educating yourself on things that you are deficient in. If you're bad with money, dude, buy somebody's course on how to be better with money. Watch Dave Ramsey, watch Neil Cavuto. At least try to educate yourself on these things, and you'll quickly find out that when you're living below your means, when you're not seeking that instant gratification, again, it's one of the pillars. Your life is going to get better.
Yeah. I dated a gal many years ago whose brother was vice president at Merrill Lynch.
Wow.
And really high up there, but it was interesting how she told me that at any given moment, I probably have more cash in my pocket than he does,
Right.
because his entire lifestyle was leased.
There you go.
Everything
there you go.
was leased.
Yeah.
Like literally, everything was month to month. Everything that I visually saw, the nice cars, just everything was a month to month situation.
Right.
And if he got fired,
You were screwed.
exactly.
Yeah. I recently had a conversation with Aaron Clary, Captain Capitalism.
Sure.
And he is a really, really smart guy. And I had him on my show a couple months back, and something he said had a profound effect on me and my audience. So he says a lot of these guys want to pop bottles. They want to live the Vegas life, because I've lived that Vegas life before. And
In Vegas.
in Las Vegas,
Yeah,
that's
right,
exactly
right.
right. And it was a great life, but just like you said, it was kind of empty because my cars were paid for, but I was living in a $3,500 a month apartment. It was great, and it got the girls, and it was a good time, but that was not a sound financial decision.
Yeah.
So I asked Aaron, I said, listen, man, like, young guys aren't really gonna take financial advice seriously because they have time. What would you recommend to a man who's thinking, you know what, I want to live that high life? He says, listen, live it. Save yourself $5,000-$6,000. Go to Vegas and live that high life for a month. Rent a high-end car for a month. Dude, rent a Lamborghini for a week. Airbnb a high-end apartment complex. Go to the strip clubs. Talk to pretty girls. Live that life for 1 month. And you will quickly see that while it's a great life, you need a break from it sometimes, right? Like that life is very fast and it burns you out very quickly.
Yeah.
That's why I ended up in Reno, right? Because I really, really just needed to slow down. It's a great life. But the point is this, is that just giving yourself a little bit of a sample. And who knows, maybe you want to live the Vegas life for 2 weeks out of the year. That's fine, but you cannot make that your lifestyle.
And then finally, women weaken the pillars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
They can't be the goal.
No. This is the goal of most men who first find the red pill is to get more women or to get a woman.
Work out to get a woman, get a nicer car to get a woman,
There you go.
Dress better to get a woman.
Of course. And again, I'm not going to be the guy that says, well, you should never do anything for a woman's approval. Look, George, we're men. We like women.
Of course.
Whether we want to admit it or not, our choices in dress, fashion, whatever, females are influenced by that. We want to be sexually attracted to the opposite sex. That's how it goes. But that's got to be ancillary, right? And it's very easy to make women the goal, especially if you're not really that good. And a lot of guys say, well, Donovan, it's really hard to not make women the goal if you've never had it. Hey, you know what? Fair enough. Make women the goal and see how far you get with your body, your mind, and your finances.
Yeah.
So how this goes, I guess, to bring this full circle is that when I thought I was red pilled by a bad looking Mexican girl, and that may or may not still be the case, but I was really red pilled when I really started to figure out, wait a minute, this isn't about women, is when I started to get bored. And I think I talked about this this last time. Ray Lewis, retired Hall of Famer, linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, he said, as far as my salary goes, he says, Sundays you get for free. He said, I'll play Sunday all day, every day. You don't have to pay me for that. What you're paying me for are the two-a-days, the training camp, the walkthrough, the film study, the practices. That's what you're paying me for. When you are no longer willing to do Monday through Saturday, then that's when you know that you're going to retire from Sunday. And so I got to that point. But I'm 37 years old. I still have my whole life to live. What else is there? Okay, I can get women in my sleep and this and that and the other. That's when I figured out, wait a minute, I don't have to chase women to get women.
Right.
Yes, women are nice, but if you focus on yourself first, the three pillars, body, mind, finances, the women are going to come. You don't have to chase them.
They show up.
Yeah, that's right.
They
all the
show up.
time.
And then
all
you
the
have
time.
options.
There you go.
Absolutely.
That's another pillar.
So you're at the convention now. It's taken a pivot. The convention has changed within the past year.
It has, yeah.
A lot of changes. What are your thoughts about the changes?
Yeah, some of the changes were unfortunate because I'm still good friends with a lot of the guys that aren't here. But
yeah, likewise.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But by the same token, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just how this goes. I mean, anything that's lasted as long as this is what, Anthony's 17th or 18th convention.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, guess what? 2 years from now, the 21 convention is going to look very different than what it looks like today.
Yeah.
There are going to be new faces, new places, et cetera, et cetera. But I think one lesson that can be learned from this is that one man does not a convention make.
Yeah.
Two men, no. This is absolutely a group effort. This is a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Even though we don't have some of the guys that we have had in the past, the convention is still every bit as top-notch, as quality, as first class as it was when I was here the last time and the time before last.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I miss those guys. I really do. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still good friends with a lot of those guys. But, the show must go on. The train stays on the tracks. And I think if I've learned anything, from what's happened here over the past, I guess, 8 to 10 months or so, is that we have something good here. We can continue to do what we're doing. People are going to be added. People are going to be dropped off for whatever reason. But I like that the 21 convention survived that schism, right?
It did.
It was touch and go there for a little while, but we all remain steadfast, and here we are, man. The last event of the decade. It doesn't appear that things are going to slow down, so I'm excited to be a part of it, man. I'm glad that we survived it.
That's awesome. So what does the next year look like for you?
Oh, wow. So the next year, I'm probably going to be getting a new place, and I'm going to be upgrading my studio. I'm gonna, oh my God, I'm gonna blow out the budget. I'm gonna upgrade absolutely everything, cameras, microphones, all of that. Also, in terms of changes, I'm actually due to release my first book in about a month. I've been working on it forever.
Nice.
I'm almost done with it. I've actually got maybe 3 or 4 courses that I'm gonna release, and then next summer I'm gonna do sort of a mini tour. I'm gonna do one city in May, June, July, and August. And I'm just going to have a weekend sort of meet and greet / workshop / happy hour dinner just to get out there into the world. And because I think it's very important to have an online presence. That's why we're all here. I mean, people find us online. But at some point, you have to think to yourself, I need to take this out into the real world. I need to shake hands. I need to see people. We need to commingle with one another. We need to show men that, hey, we really do exist. And you really can do this. And one thing that I enjoy more than anything is just talking to people. And I think that's the best way. I think that's probably the best way to satisfy that urge.
Awesome. That's exciting. Now, you've never done anything other than 21 conventions.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Wow. So that really is blazing some new ground.
It is. It is. Yeah. I'm excited.
Now, did you choose the cities based upon the demographics of where your fans are, or are you just kind of just picking?
I'm just picking locations.
You probably do have fans.
It's weird, man. Like it's I have people buying my courses from Sweden and Norway and South America and Texas. I think as long as you can help people, I think you're always going to have a following. Tentatively, obviously, I'm going to do Philadelphia. That's where I live. I'm thinking somewhere in Texas, maybe Houston, Reno, Nevada, because I have friends out there, and that's where I lived before I moved out to Philly. And then maybe Los Angeles or even Seattle. But it's going to be 4 cities. Maybe New York will be added in there somewhere. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Well, we have, as I was greeting guys here for the past couple days, I would ask, what is your name and where are you from?
Right.
I cannot believe the amount of people that are coming from the West Coast.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Everybody's coming from California, man.
This is California, Washington, Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's more people from the West Coast here this weekend.
I think you're right.
Than there is from the East Coast. It kind of blew me away.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. I mean, demographically, in terms of people's geographic locations, I think it probably changes from convention to convention. This might just happen to be a West Coast heavy convention. Who knows? Maybe Anthony wants to move this thing to the West Coast at some point. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's good that we're getting people from the opposite coast. That means our reach is really starting to like we're really. I mean, obviously, you guys were in Poland not too long ago. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it there. But yeah, it's good to see guys from all over. It's good to see guys that are from states other than the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah, the Poland trip was really interesting. I mean, there's a very, very strong men's community in Europe.
Wow.
And I didn't
know that.
It didn't skip a beat. It was really interesting. It was, and everyone spoke English too, which was,
wow.
I was really quite amazed. And next year it's going to be in another city in Poland.
Okay.
And it's going to be even stronger.
Good.
Fascinating.
Good. Yeah, so, I might actually make it out to that one, depending upon when that is. Like I said, I've got a lot of changes going on, but I would love to be a part of that. That would be great.
Excellent. Do you have any regrets in life?
Oh my God, yeah. I guess a superficial regret that I have in life is I should not have gone to college. When I was 18 years old, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was an excellent student, straight A student, 4.15 GPA and all the rest of that. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I think I probably should have joined the military out of high school. That's probably my one regret. Had I joined the military, I would probably be a little bit further along in my life. But I mean, by the same token, when you're in the military, you're a target, right? I think that goes without saying. Yeah. That's probably my first regret. I don't really have too many regrets, George, to be honest with you. I mean, I've made some ill-advised choices, but it's really, really cool to be able to sit here and think to myself that I don't really have any regrets because I love my life, man. Yeah. 5 years ago, I probably could have given you X, Y, and Z regrets, but everything I've been through, and I know this sounds like success sport, everything that happens to me, well, the things that have happened in my life has brought me to this point. It's made me who I am today. Yeah. So, yeah, were there some decisions that I probably could have made differently that would have made my life better? Sure. Yeah. But And I've never been asked that question before by anybody. And to sit here and say that I can't think of one thing that I would absolutely hit the time machine and go back and do it again, I can't really say that, because had things been different, I might not be sitting here.
Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you this. Do you find, who are the, obviously, you have mainly a male audience.
Sure, yeah.
Who are the fringe people in your audience? Do you have females? Do you have 70-year-old men? Do you have, is there, like, I'm sure you have a profile of your average fan.
Sure, yeah.
Who is an outlier amongst your fans?
Yeah, there are a few females that are fans, and they tend to keep a low profile because they know that I have a no girls allowed policy.
Yeah,
I've got
right.
the treehouse with the hanger on there.
Yeah.
I do have a substantial amount of older gentlemen. One guy, Bob in Sacramento, if you're watching this, he's in his 70s. I consulted a guy who is in his 80s. So yeah, I've got some guys on the fringe who are a little bit older, because they're just now waking up. I talked to one guy a couple weeks back he's been married for 58 years, and he's just now figuring things out.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. He's like, dude, like, my life is a lie, and he's only had sex with his wife twice. I mean, it was just unbelievable. But yeah, it's good to see that that more than one, because the red pill is for everybody. It's for men, it's for women, it's for old people, it's for young people. And at some point maybe the red pill is going to be called something else. I think we call it that just because of the Matrix.
Yeah.
The Matrix similarities and all that. But what we talk about is a way of life, just sort of waking up and just and really seeing things for what they are and doing something about it. There are a lot of guys out there who do nothing but complain, and we all go through that stage. But that's not what I'm interested in. Yes, I'm going to point out what's wrong with the world and women and this and that and the other, but I also offer solutions. And when you offer solutions, your demographic is going to widen, because, okay, people certainly take pleasure in, oh yeah, you know what? We'll point the finger at feminism and we'll do all that other kind of stuff. But there's a very select group of people. Most people like to sit back and complain because that's the easy thing. But there's a select group of people that say, you know what? I like these solutions. I want to better my life. I want to live a better life. Yes. This is why guys like me will never have as big an audience as guys who just do nothing but complain and don't offer solutions.
Right.
Listen, great for those guys. At least they're waking guys up. But when you're done over there, if you want to do something about it, if you want actionable advice, I'm waiting on DonovanSharp.com.
Yeah. I noticed that your pillars, Elliot today, or I guess it was yesterday, I forget when he was on, he did like 12 commandments, and his first commandment was, thou shalt lift.
Right.
And I'm seeing a common theme amongst content creators in the men's community, the red pill community. And that first thing is, get your own house in order, and that starts with your body.
That's right.
That's the first area where you can start to see results fast.
Right.
Yeah, that's a common theme, and I really like that. So.
Well, when you get yourself in a better shape, it permeates all other areas of life. Just like you said, being in good shape, you don't just feel physically better, you have more mental clarity.
Yeah.
You're just like you said, your mood is better. Just being a healthier person just improves you as a person.
Yeah.
And when you are improved as a person, you make better decisions financially, mentally, etc. Having a good physique helps you in all. Money doesn't help in all areas of life. It just doesn't. Having mental strength doesn't necessarily help in all areas. But just like you said, if you really want to sort of jumpstart your life, the body, that's where you got to start.
Yeah, I love it. The 3 pillars of a man's life: body, mind, and finances. A conversation with Donovan Sharp.
Thanks, George.
What was your experience so far with the 21 convention?
Oh, outstanding.
Professional, all across the board. Really good energy with a lot of people, and I just like it because it's a very positive direction.
This, George, this has been a first-class event.
It's fantastic. You guys run a really tight ship. I've been to a lot of conventions over the course of my business career, and I can tell when things are well run and when things aren't, and this is a very well run operation. I was very impressed.
It's pretty incredible to see where Anthony's brought it, especially from last year, which was my first year here, and to see the upgrades he's made has been incredible.
I've got my notebook, and with every speaker, I've written down about 2 or 3 lines under each of the speakers of just the key prime stuff. That's good. That's good.
It's very surreal, man. I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying it. I'm happy to live in such an era where such a thing like this is possible.
I have never seen a group of guys like this, a group of 200 men who are focused, squared away, they're working on their values. Just never met a bigger group of wonderful guys.
It's kind of neat because I've been to a fair amount of conventions in my day, but you never see one where the guys like here you can just see Ed Lattimore talking to Tanner about boxing.
Yeah.
You just sit down and then you tell your boxing experiences. Everybody's kind of pinging off each other. It's
Yeah.
nice.
It has been fantastic, and it's been 4 days of guys all on the same page, working in the same direction.
Fascinating meeting some of the people, hearing their stories. You got people traveling from other parts of the world to come here just to see some of the speakers. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
The thing that's impressed me is everybody here is very serious.
Yeah.
They're taking it, close to their heart.
What a great convention.
Thanks, George.